Hi guys, let's talk comparison. So I've been talking about friendships recently, and as we all know, comparison is the thief of joy and the reason why a lot of friendships fail. And people hold secret animosity and this and the other. So I thought, let me just do a video about it. This is just my perspective. I'm going to give you guys a few gems. So make sure you stay to the end. Please subscribe, like, and share. So let's talk about it. Now, comparison it's just stupid to me. It doesn't make any sense, and it does still joy within the individual out of the friendship, relationship, whatever it is. Because it's like if you are constantly comparing yourself to other people, other things, it's like you don't value yourself. If you do value yourself, you will see that you are one of one, you're unique. What's meant for you is for you, and your blessings will never pass you. Even if things don't feel great now, or your life doesn't feel like filled with blessings now, it doesn't mean that it won't get better. Do you know what I mean? And it's like comparing your life to someone else's life is only going to make you feel down. You're measuring yourself against people and things. And it's like, how are you meant to feel good within yourself if you keep doing that? How are you meant to progress? In order to progress, you have to focus on you and what you got going on and think in depth, like, how is my life going to get better? What can I do to make this happen? So if you're focusing on other things, comparing yourself, you just waste so much time. We're living on borrowed time. It doesn't make sense to compare yourself, just see yourself as one of one and embrace who you are and your life and your blessings and what's for you. Now, the reason why comparison is so stupid and doesn't make any sense is because it's like a lot of people, they compare themselves when there's no comparison. And you and your friend are in total different circumstances. You and the stranger or whoever it is, just two different lifestyles. So let's use our first example. So the first one I'm going to talk about is, somebody that works hard for everything they have. They work, have a career, whatever it is, and they just live life, like a normal person compared to somebody that does fraud and they have handouts, one of the two. So basically they're not working for anything that they have. They're just passing through, doing wrong and stunting. How can you compare the two? It doesn't make any sense. How can, let's say, person B compare themselves to person A? Person B is the one that's doing fraud. Person A is the one that's living a normal life. Person B may feel like, oh, they're better than person A. They have this, they have all the designers, all this, all the thing that's all the things that's hot and popping, so they're better. They may treat person A like they're less than them. How can you do that when there's no comparison? You don't even work for what you have. Or vice versa, person A could be feeling down within themselves, sad, bitter, jealous of person B because they have this, that, and the other, but they're doing fraud. So why are you feeling sad within yourself? So I just feel like it's important to just see things for what they are in it and be real with yourself, as I always say, because it's like you can sit there, compare yourself to people that you don't know, situations that you don't even, you may even assume that somebody has more than you, but they don't. They're doing fraud, or they're getting handouts, they have inheritance. There's so many different things. This is why it's just important to not compare yourself to other people, especially one, if you don't know how they get their things or what they got going on, and two, if you do know but the circumstance is totally different. It just doesn't make any sense. And let's speak if the circumstance is different. Say like you have the same job, you're best friends with your colleague, you have the same income, let's say, the same lifestyle, same family, household size. There's no point of comparing yourself, because it's like what's for you is for you and what's for them is for them. Everybody's is different. They navigate through life differently. Some people budget better than others. Some people just get blessed before others. But the point is, if we're speaking about friendship and our loved ones, people that we actually love, when people that we love, they get blessed, we are meant to be happier for them than they are for themselves. That's just like a normal thing, isn't it? If you have a friend, family member, and you know you love them, which is normal to, why would you not be happy for them? Why would you be holding anything in your heart? And I said this in one of my TikTok videos, I think one of my YouTube videos, sorry, a while ago. I don't understand the jealousy and the bitterness that comes into play when people see that their friends or their loved ones are blessed before them or more than them. Because it's like, ain't relationship and friendship and stuff about unity, being unified, being one, and moving forward together? So it's like, if I'm your friend and I blow up, or I have a lot of money, I have this, won't you have it too? Of course you would, because I'm going to bring you in, I'm going to bring you on. You're not going to leave your friend or your real people behind. It just, that don't make no sense. So I don't know, man. This is why it's just weird, because it's like, friendship nowadays, everything nowadays is different. Relationships aren't even relationships anymore. Everybody's like cheating. Like, there's just no real love, no real substance. People just look for the wrong things and always have wrong agendas and so forth. But you get what I'm saying. So it's just like comparison. It just doesn't make any sense. People, they waste their time comparing themselves to situations and things that they don't know about, people that they don't know on social media. And it's just like, how do you know them? How do you know how they got their things? And even for the people that do work hard, do you know the blood, sweat, and tears that they put in to get to where they are? Can you handle that? No, you can't. Because if you could, it will be your life. And this is why it's just so important of understanding that concept that God gives you what you can what you can manage, and nothing don't miss you. Even if it isn't your time now, your time will come. So let's do our last example, yeah? And this example, I'm going to use empathy and stuff. Just I'll get to it. Let me land. So let's say there's somebody that is single versus somebody that is married. There's no point of comparing yourself, your situations, your lifestyle. It's just silly. In marriage, there's meant to be support. You know, man providing. There's just meant to be support. There's no point of being married if you don't make life easier for each other, if you don't love each other, if there's no emotional support, financial support, protection in the household. It just don't make sense. So I'm speaking about how, a normal marriage versus a friend who is single and by themselves. Again, can't compare. Person A, like the single friend, may feel down, depressed, sad, or like she's not doing good enough, or like she's not progressing, or constantly comparing her life to their life, and it don't make sense. Your friend has her husband, she's got all the support, she's got the, how can you compare? Why are you feeling sad within yourself? Just focus on you. It doesn't mean that anybody is better than you because, one, they're progressing more than you, or two, they have extra help. Just focus on you. What's for you will find you. And then again, the friend that is married may feel like she is better than her friend who is single. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, how? Because you have more support. Or she may even feel like she may envy the single friend because the single friend has more freedom to do this, to do that. Or, it's just like, I always say being real with ourselves and just looking at things for what they are and comprehending things in depth is just so important, because it's like you can just waste your time feeling down, sad within yourself when there's no comparison. And also, even if you feel like there is, it's not good to compare yourself anyways. It's so time consuming, it's so draining, it's not going to get you anywhere. So yeah, what do you guys think about this? I just feel like there's so much examples, but this is just a freestyle topic. And yeah, it is the reason why a lot of friendships, relationships end, because constantly comparing yourself to someone else's progress or someone else's life, or people and things that you don't know. It just don't make it. Even when it comes to social media, you're comparing yourself to things that aren't even real. If you do the emojis, the car and the chicken is bigger than the car. How can that be? And this is on social media. This is on the iOS. If you have a Samsung, I don't even know what their thing is called. But you get what I'm saying. It just doesn't make any sense. So I'm just going to end like this. Move through life with love. Be humble and be thankful for what you have, who you are. Just keep trying to get better. Don't worry about comparing yourself. There's no comparison, no competition. You are you. The more you embrace who you are, learn who you are, reflect on yourself, your mistakes, and how you can be better, the better life is going to be. And this is me speaking from experience. Of course, when it comes to like comparison, I've never had to struggle with that, like being jealous of friends or people or my partners because I'm comparing myself to people and situations. No, I ain't got time for that. Even friends, because I know what's for me is for me. But at the end of the day, we was all raised different. We all struggle with different things. And this community is just all about growing together, helping each other. And this is why I do my lives. Because it's like you hear different perspectives, you meet like-minded people. And at the end of the day, none of us are perfect. So that's just that, innit? It's just about working on yourself. And that's that. That's real. But if this resonated with you, please subscribe, like, and share. Share it with your family. Put it on your WhatsApp, your family, friends, whoever. And yeah, hope to see you guys soon. Bye.
If you struggle with comparing yourself to other people, I know I sure used to struggle with this. The best way to stop doing that is to work on your own happiness and your own success. Here's why. The happiest and most successful people are way too busy doing what makes them happy and successful to worry about comparing themselves to other people. Working on yourself and making yourself a better and happier and more successful person, that is the only way that I know of that truly will help you stop comparing yourself to other people. Worked for me, it'll work for you.
You can't stop comparing yourself to other people. Don't get me wrong, I understand it is natural for us to measure our successes, our progress in life, our failures to other people. For motivation reasons, cool. To help you cope with feelings of inadequacy, not feeling good enough, unworthiness, not cool. What are you comparing yourself to? Because most of the people only show the highlighted parts of their life. They only show the good parts of their lives. So chances are you are comparing yourself to an idealized version that you have of that person. You are trying to attain or surpass an idealized version of that person. You probably want to fit in, have a sense of belonging, feel accepted. That's natural human experience. I understand that because I used to be in that position. But if that is the case, are you measuring yourself to societal standards? Are you status reaching, trying to find your place or your position in societal hierarchies? Because societal standards always change, baby. They are always moving the goalposts. It is something new every couple of months or every year. So you are always going to feel like you don't fit in. You are always going to feel like you are not good enough. You may constantly be driven by jealousy because of how society shifts and changes so rapidly. Don't measure your worth based off of somebody's appearance, their successes, their possessions, or anything like that, baby. What works for someone may not work for you. If you comparing yourself to somebody else or their life is not for you to be motivated, then it's harmful. And a key indicator is if there's any signs of jealousy, self-doubt, anxiety, or depression because of those comparisons. Okay, baby? I wish you all the best. Happy healing, happy, healthy relationships. Bye, babies. Love
of your peace. Comparison is not only the thief of your joy, of your peace. It is also a thief of your inspiration, your creativity, your sanity. It is a thief of your competence, your gratitude, and your hard work. A while ago, I was traveling with my family. When we booked the rooms at the hotel where we were staying, we all opted to upgrade the rooms. When we got to the destination, we checked in, and then my mom came over to my room to say hi, and she looked around the room and said, "This room is a lot smaller than mine." I immediately ran to her room And she was right, and I was irritated because the difference looked significant. I went to the front desk to see what could be done, and I was told that even with the same style room, that the rooms do vary in size, and there was nothing that they could do. They were also fully booked for the time that we were staying there. As we were talking about the whole situation in my mom's room, I actually noticed that my name was on the TV screen. So they had mixed up the keys when we checked in, and they gave her room to me and they gave my room to her. Now, I was not about to tell my mom to move because we are Nigerian and I am not insane. Plus, all of the rooms were supposed to be similar in size to begin with. That's what we booked. The most annoying part was that this was not the first time that this has happened specifically with my room while traveling with my family. I could feel my irritation rising, and in that moment, I knew that if I did not make a conscious choice on a reaction, I would spiral. My annoyance would become a story, and that story would become an identity, the person who this always happens to. Spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle says that the primary cause of unhappiness isn't the situation, but your thoughts about it. My unhappiness didn't begin with me being in my room. It began with the comparison that my room was smaller than my mom's. The feelings that followed then created a story. I paid for more, but I didn't get more. These are the questions that I asked myself in that moment. I may not have what I want, but do I have what I need? My answer was yes. Would what I want drastically change my experience in any way? My answer was no. That was a perception issue. A lot of you will be pushing along, building, thriving in your lives, at work, in your businesses, and then you catch a glimpse of someone else's life. All of a sudden, you know nothing. You've done nothing. Your experience is no longer worth much. Comparison will make you feel like you don't know what the hell you're doing. It will make you center someone else as the main character in your own story. Comparison will make you think that your year 1 is less impactful than someone else's year 20. Or even the other way around, make you feel like your year 5, 10, 20 is less impactful because it's not as shiny as the new things. So let's finish the story from earlier. This is the wild thing. The next morning, my mom called me to tell me that she had had a very eventful evening. There was an electrical issue in her room that night, and the main lights could not be turned off. The front desk had to call an electrician to come in the middle of the night to fix the issue. It took them over 2 hours to figure it out. Even when you have the things you want, challenges don't cease to exist. I would have been dealing with the same issue if I had been in my original room. Most of our unhappiness is rarely ever external. It's usually internal. It is imperative that you mind your business this year, or like my Nigerian people will say, face your front. Because if you don't, and you take your eyes off your road, comparison will rob you of everything that you have built and how far you have come. If this message